Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Filling in for the town reporter, would you please call the roll?
Alderwoman Payne.
Here.
Alderman Malone.
Here.
Alderwoman Keys. Vice Mayor Adams. Alderman Johnson.
Here.
Now I do have prayer and pledge of allegiance. Would you all like to continue with that, or would someone like to make a motion since we did earlier?
I think we did it. Make a motion. We did it earlier, if that's okay.
A motion to go ahead and move on to the first session. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and take a vote. And this would be a vote to, a motion to pass over the pledge and the prayer.
Alderwoman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Malone.
Yes.
Alderwoman Keys. Vice Mayor Adams. Alderman Johnson.
Yes.
First session of public comments. 3 minutes. Would anyone like to speak? Seeing that there is none, let's go ahead and move to the first item. Discussion and action. First reading. Ordinance 2025-007. An ordinance to amend the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 for the capital asset purchase of 100 meters for the Public Works Department. I'll go ahead and read the ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-007, an ordinance to amend the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 for the purchase of 100 M25 disc meters. Whereas the authorization of $30,500 will be used for the purchase of 100 M25 disc meters 0.21 for this fiscal year. Be it therefore ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the Town of Bluff City that Ordinance 2024-003 as to line item 413, Water Sewer, be amended as follows. Water Sewer Fund, $1,155,325,000. The ordinance shall take effect from and after its final passage, the public welfare requiring it. So this is for the purchase of 100 meters. I don't believe meters were ordered last year. They usually try to, in the past, keep 100 to 200. When they did the big meter project, they had to order quite a few. This is definitely a need. The Works Department has quite a few meters that have recently, as far back as 6 months, become non-functional. What this does is it, in some cases, gives a misrepresentation, and then an adjustment has to be made. It's not. I believe it is time consuming, but it's also it prevents a lot of, or it poses a lot of issues when that happens. Originally, Alan had asked for 1 or 2, and after speaking to Sharon, she said it would be best to purchase a bulk amount before the end of the fiscal year. As it is a capital asset, we would be able to use that specific fund that we had used before, if I'm correct, yes. So this is a major need. So anyone, let's feel free to discuss.
So were we able to take that out of our water and sewer reserve fund?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Do
this
we
would not
know
be
how
expense.
many meters are not working at this time?
We have a list of those. I can't tell you an exact figure off the top of my head, but we do have.
I mean, is it
Several.
10 or is it 200?
It's not 200, maybe a dozen.
Okay.
Don't quote me. I'm not sure the exact figure.
I
but it's
know.
maybe a dozen.
I'm just asking.
But the other thing too is the city does meter replacements on an annual basis, and so we target between 215 and 225 a year for regular replacement. In over a 10-year span, all the meters that are replaced, and it's a continuous cycle. So this would also help populate some of those meters as
The
well.
same meters we've been installing though.
We have never replaced 250 meters a year down here. But I do believe last year it was 50.
50 meters were replaced.
That was purchased last year.
Okay, I did the little checking. I didn't see that they were. That
It,
were
it could,
purchased.
I mean, I could be wrong about it, but for some reason I think 50. But that could have been the year before.
Yeah. So to keep up with the number of meters that we have, it should be around that 200 plus figure there. So,
Well, there's 700 in the city. Or so.
I think there's more than that. I mean, I know since I've been here, we've done multiple water taps since I've been here.
Well, while I'm going on, we bought a trash can for everybody and got 708, I think. So,
But don't you have to also do that? It's not the number of,
yeah.
yeah, you go by water because we got more water
Just because
customers
of
than
people
we
outside the
do.
city, I mean, we got a lot of-
Than we do inside.
But
The
trash,
sewer.
there could be more trash customers,
Yeah.
people who just are outside of the city who have trash but not water and sewer.
Well, we need them.
I make a motion that I wish we could have waited till after the budget was over, but if it's capital assets, that's fine.
It is, and it was explained that it would be better to do it before the end of the fiscal year. So, motion to approve ordinance 2025-007 by Alderwoman Payne,
I'll second.
second by Alderman Johnson. Could we take a vote?
Alderman Payne,
Yes,
or Alderwoman, I'm sorry, Payne.
that's fine.
Alderman Malone
Yes.
and Alderman Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, first reading passes. We're going to move on to the next item, which is the board approval to move monies to the water sewer account for the 2025 audit. Did you want to talk about this?
So if you recall when we had Rutherford and Moss in here, one of the sightings that we had was that we had for about a decade or so a deficiency where money was moved out of water sewer into general and it needs to be moved back. And we're required to do this by the end of the fiscal year, which is of course June 30th. So this is the approval to make that exchange happen.
It only needs one reading.
So best I can remember what it was is we took money from general funds and put it in water and sewer, and then we got caught and we got to pay it back.
Did I say that backwards?
Yeah,
My apologies.
that's okay.
Is that the
But that's-
$53,000?
Yes.
53,000.
So we need to move that back into, yeah.
Yes.
But this pays it off.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve this.
Motion to approve moving the money back to water sewer, or into water sewer,
No,
by Alderwoman.
back to general.
Back to
fund.
general fund, by Alderwoman Payne.
Oh, I'll second.
Second, Alderman Johnson. Could we take a vote?
Alderwoman Payne,
Yes.
Alderman Malone,
Yes.
and Alderman Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, that has been approved. We are now going to move on to the timeline and flyer for city manager. Do you all have a copy? Do you want a copy of that? I brought.
This one's that different.
I have one.
It's the same one that I emailed. So this is the proposal from Pete Auger at MTAS for the timeline for the town manager, advertising the town manager position. The only thing that would change is the June 2025. We're doing it today at a special called meeting, not the June. We'd already had that meeting when this was given to us. So that would be the only change. And this only needs one reading, and if it passes, then first thing in the morning, I'll relay that to MTAS and Pete Auger, and he will proceed.
Well, I think we've worked on it for months. Why not,
Well, we really quite haven't even worked on everything, for we've been waiting, but.
I don't see.
I
why we
mean,
need to drag our feet
I mean,
anymore.
we were going to go ahead and move forward with this. I mean, absolutely.
So do I have a motion to approve both the flyer and the timeline?
Yes, there's the optionals about how we will interview But that can be discussed later, can it or can it not?
That can certainly be discussed.
Okay, great.
Motion to approve both the flyer and the timeline provided by MTAS Pete Auger.
I make a motion to approve.
Yeah, by Alderwoman Payne.
You're going to make me do them all, aren't you, John?
Oh.
I second.
Okay.
Second by Alderman Johnson. Could we take a vote, please?
Alderman Payne,
Yes.
Alderman Malone,
Yes.
and Alderman Johnson.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to the second session of public comments. Meeting adjourned.